Anybody want to talk? Okay, so they're going to talk about that a little later. And then hashtag LHA, back to biz. Inform us and support the local businesses. When you see somebody opening, just tell them you're glad to see them open, share with them and help them, okay? What we've done so far, 62 businesses reopened. We also are running an office supply drive. There were a lot of people who lost a lot of office supplies and furniture. So the Chamber of Commerce had partnered with some other chambers around the country that have gathered some office furnishings and supplies. And so if you know someone who have a need of that, have them contact the chamber office. We've reached out to over 100 businesses across the area, and we're still working on that. And we've also coordinated workshops and seminars that educate the businesses about unknown resources. So we're helping with that. Lake Houston Area Relief Fund. Come on, talk about that. Corinne Price.
Thank you, Pastor Jerry. Hi, I'm Corinne Price. I'm with Insperity, and I'm also on the chamber board, and so I was asked to come up and talk about the Lake Houston Area Relief Fund. So the day that Kingwood flooded, we all remember that day, and Kingwood, Atascocita, the whole everything washed away. We being me and several others were at Creekwood Middle School helping to do relief efforts there. And we were waiting for Red Cross to show up. We were told that they were coming, and then we got another phone call from Dave Martin's office saying he just talked to them and they said they were not coming. So we were on our own. We needed to take care of our own people, and we said, okay, we're going to do that. So that was how the Lake Houston Area Relief Fund was born. Now let me do a little caveat there about the Red Cross. It doesn't matter what you think about them, it doesn't matter what I think about them. Even if they had shown up, there was only so much that they could do. What we really needed was something that was long-term, something that could help our entire community get through this time. And so we got a few of us together. I called Jenna Armstrong from the chamber, and I got a hold of Millie Garrison from HAM. And I said, you know what, at Insperity, we have an employee benevolence program where we help people that are going through a time of unforeseen, uncontrollable crisis, as well as times of natural disasters. And what if we did something that's very similar, but we do it on a community-wide basis? And they said yes, which was the right answer. And so what we did is we got our executives on board as well at Insperity, and they said, okay, as much money as you raise, we'll match that up to $1 million. So start raising money, and our marketing department went ahead and put up a website, the Lake Houston Area Relief Fund. And so let me give you some stats real quick as to where we are. We got up and running very quickly, and try to get the word out that this was for any resident that was affected by the storm, that they wanted to apply, they could, as well as small businesses, because we were getting a lot of stuff, we've already talked about it, that a lot of small businesses were affected and were devastated, and so many people were being told no. They're being told no by FEMA, they're being told no by SBA, they're being told no all the way around by Red Cross, whomever it may be. And we really felt like we needed to do something that had an entity that said yes to them. We are here to help you as community, helping the community. And so on the website, we have that up, but it's LakeHoustonAreaReliefFund.org. Super simple. You can apply for a grant on the website. We, thus far, have helped about 100 families. And we have about 100 that are still, that have come in that we are going to be looking at in the next 2 weeks as well. So they're coming in on a daily basis, these grant requests. And it's not based upon income level. And that was something that we wanted to make sure. It didn't matter. If you have a good income, but you lost everything and you need help. And so that's what this is all about, is helping residents and small businesses. About 15% of those that apply are small businesses. So we'll let them tell their story. I'm not going to mention who applied and who we've helped, but it's been, if I were to mention their names, you'd go, yes, oh, I'm so glad you helped those people, because we all love our small businesses around here. Thus far, the fund has raised about $242,000, and all of that has been matched by Insperity. I will tell you that as of yesterday, the group meets on a weekly basis to review the grants. As of yesterday, we used up all of that money. So we are raising money on a daily basis, and as the money comes in, it goes out. 100% of donations that come in go out. There is no administrative fee that we are taking. Everybody is either Inspirity's paying for it or Ham is donating their people to come and take care of this for us. But all the website, everything is pretty much Inspirity's bill for that. And so 100% donations are coming in. We've gotten donations from all over the place. I do want to mention a few that are coming up. One is Chipotle. They called us and said, we have a regular fundraiser program that we do. Typically, you choose one location, and for 4 hours, 50% of the proceeds will go towards that nonprofit. But just so happens that the marketing strategist lives in the Lake Houston area, and she said, you know what, we're going to do something different. I'm going to open up both locations to your fundraiser. So both the Chipotle at Deerbrook Mall and the one in Atascocita on November 16th, and you guys have flyers out there for you. The entire day, from 10:45 a.m. till 10 p.m., 50% of all of those proceeds are going to go to the Lake Houston Area Relief Fund. And from today forward, Insperity is going to match all those donations at a 2-for-1 rate. So we're going to try to get the money in and out even faster than we have been. So that's fantastic. Also, we were contacted by the Lake Houston Musical Arts Society. They're the parent company for Kingwood Big Band and the Kingwood Choral Society. There are 3 fall concerts on, and you can just go to their website and find these, but on the 11th, on the 18th, and on the 19th, they have the Kingwood Big Band is on the 11th, on the 18th and 19th is the Kingwood Chorale. All 3 of those, all the proceeds are going towards the Lake Houston Area Relief Fund. So that is huge. We're so excited. And then also Kevin Kilgore from Atascocita Golf Club contacted us and said we want to do a golf tournament for you guys. So they are putting that together super fast. I think it's they decided December 6th is when the golf tournament will be. So we'll be looking for that. We want to fill the course and get everybody out there to play golf. And he's donating everything for us. So all the money that's raised is going to go towards this. We are trying to get everything done as fast as possible. We know that people want to get back in their homes. They want to get their businesses up and running. So the committee that meets to review these is a committee of benevolence administrators from the Lake Houston area churches. So we contacted chamber members that were congregations as well as some of Ham's covenant partners, and they all provided people that volunteer their time, and we meet for about 3 hours once a week, and we crank through these grants and get the money into their hands. Money goes to third-party vendors, so we don't put cash in anybody's hands. It goes to pay for mortgage, rent, utilities, car payments. So there's no opportunity for abuse of that at all. It goes directly to help them out so then they can take the money that they would have to pay their mortgage. And some of these, as you guys know, is so sad. People are paying car payments on a car that was completely destroyed, or mortgage on a house that they can't live in and they're paying rent. And so we can come in and say, you know what, we'll take care of 3 months of your mortgage and 2 months of the rent that you're in right now, the apartment that you're in, and go take that money and go, rebuild your life. So it has been phenomenal. There's been lots of tears, lots of hugs, lots of thank yous, and a lot of people that have never ever had to ask for help have now reached out and said, please, can you help me? And we've been able to say yes. And I want to end with a scripture verse that we were inspired by when we were putting this whole thing together. And it's Proverbs 3:27 and 28. It says, do not withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to do it. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, excuse me, and tomorrow I will give it when you have it with you. And that's what we do. We take all the resources that are available, we all look at each other and say, how can we help this community? And we've been able to rally it all together and put it in this fund and then distribute it out and bring our community back to the way it was. So thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
Before you're seated, we have a presentation from Shanna Lopez. Where is Shanna? Waste Management. So let's give her a hand. She's going to Waste Management. Thank you.
It's actually a very short presentation. On behalf of Waste Management, Atascocita, we would like to give the Lake Houston relief effort $60,000. And I look forward
All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you guys.
This gets matched 2 for 1.
Thank you so very much. I'll just take this. I never had a big check before. Thank you, Waste Management. We really, really appreciate that, and your investment in our community. We really, really appreciate that. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Well, I feel really certain that Pastor Jerry stepped into his chairman of the board role at the beginning of this year thinking that he was going to have a very different year than how it's turned out. And I'm pretty sure that Corinne Price, as chair-elect, didn't anticipate when she said yes to that the coming year would be quite like it's going to be. But I can think of no better leadership as I've watched and been inspired by what they've done so far to react and to respond in a way that positively impacts our community. So thank you all for your leadership. Keeping in our Harvey theme, I'm going to ask the Dean of the Lone Star College at Atascocita Center, Oscar Ramos, to tell us a little bit about how this flood has affected your center and the Kingwood campus.
Absolutely, thank you. Okay, so I hope you've been taking notes. I'm an educator, so we're going to talk about things we learned today. So number one, this is an amazing community of people. So really thrilled to see that. That's incredible, and I hope that work continues too. Schools are really neat these days. There's amazing things happening in our schools that we're building. And number 3, go Astros. So get started, right? Those are the things of the day. Just real fast, there's a lot of photos. We're just going to kind of walk through and talk through all this. But so this is the campus. Obviously during Harvey, the San Jacinto River came up, and the I guess reddish color was basically underwater. It was up to, I think, 4 feet of standing water in some of our buildings. 7 of our 9 buildings are completely unusable at the moment. They've been remediated, but we are struggling with the same thing everyone in this community is struggling with in all over Houston. Contractors, getting materials, getting things rebuilt, so it's taking time. So right now that's where we're at. So I'm just, the next few slides, just kind of click through them. Just some of the flood damage, some of the pictures that we were able to take after the flood. Some of the water had gone down. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's on sorters, and that's our sign right there. So that's standing water. So yeah, it was very difficult. As you go through some of these, just take note of the water line, kind of where things were at. So a lot of these spaces are completely unusable, and we're going through and rebuilding that. So this one I always want to show off that these tables obviously weren't in that configuration. They were moved into that configuration from the water. So let's continue through. Yes, that's from the San Jacinto River side. Again, water line on the truck. I think this is a really telling one. That's where the water line is, so you can kind of see with someone standing by it. And you see the wildlife, the snails that have moved up on the grass to get away from the water. So a lot of lost equipment. It looks like at the moment, I think the price tag is at about $25 million for replacements. We've lost all our space, so we actually had a big staff employee meeting right after the flood at one of our local churches, and we're really thankful for the use of that space. So at the Atascocita Center, we have many programs that have requirements that are our requirements, so we had to start immediately. We weren't allowed to lose any time or space. So the OTA program was actually having classes prior to when we officially started in our building. They were the only ones there. It was myself, 2 of my staff members in the OTA program teaching their classes. This is the leadership, the dean's leadership team. Right now, they're working at the MSED Center, and at times coming over to the Atascocita Center and working with us. So we have a lot of displaced people at the moment. So one of the things we wanted to talk about is what happened, right? We had 1,275 classes ready to start, and what did we do? And oh, by the way, those sections were over 90% full. So it was 1,275 sections, 90% full. So what we had to do is we had to move a lot of our face-to-face, because we lost our face-to-face space, into online and hybrid situations. So a lot of students had to go online. At the Atascocita Center was unharmed. There was no damage there. So a lot of the face-to-face courses that require to be face-to-face, that tend to be more difficult in an online setting, we tried to move as many as we could into the building. So we overnight doubled our enrollment. So yeah, let's go to the next one. So where are we at? So online sections, we went up to almost 800 online sections from the 1,275. Well, 1,275 total, we're up to 800 now, about 500-ish face-to-face hybrid in a lot of different locations. So Atascocita, Atascocita is the largest space that is having face-to-face sessions for the King campus. But we're also, there are 2 buildings that are usable on campus. They're being used. This is the Student Conference Center and the Music Building. We have classes over at North Harris, at the Montgomery campus, and a lot of other partners within the community that opened up. We also have some leased spaces that we're working on using for the spring as well. Go ahead. So, the Atascocita Center, how has it impacted here locally, the Atascocita Center? Go ahead and go to the next one. So again, we have increased our face-to-face and hybrid footprint. If you've driven by it recently, used to the parking lot would be kind of full, but now there's the second part of the parking lot that's also full, so traffic has increased. Again, our head count has doubled overnight, so we have about 2,500 students that we're working with now. We've had to extend all of our services. One of the things when we were running the smaller center, we had a little bit, we didn't have as many demands. So with this increased demand with the online, we've had to do more testing, things of that nature. So we've extended basically all of our services out. So our libraries run at 7 o'clock. We're now open on Saturdays. We weren't open on Saturdays previously. Go ahead, the next one. We do have students, and we have a lot of activities and new programs that are running in there. So the Process Technology Center is currently in there. They're moving to the new building. The new building will open in the spring. There are a lot of other groups, student groups. We're trying to bring some normalcy back to the college environment as well. Some of the clubs, having them meet there locally. So, and the last thing is, I think the last slide is just questions. I know I ran through that really fast. I wasn't given a lot of time. I know there's been a lot of exciting things happening, but any questions? Yes, no? I'll stick around. I know sometimes in a big crowd you don't want to ask questions, but I'll hang out and answer any questions afterwards. Thank you.
Appreciate that. In spite of it all, you had record-breaking enrollment at the Lone Star College Kingwood campus?
Yes. Yes.
12,000 students?
13.
13,000. That's
13,000.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Last up on our agenda, but I know you will want to hear from Beth Cripple, who is the librarian representing Harris County Public Libraries, to give us a little bit of an update on the Atascocita project. Beth?
Thank you very much. I'll make this real quick lickety split. So we'll just go ahead and move along. I'm going to give you a background on the Harris County Public Libraries as a whole. Some people don't understand. You can check out from one of them, return to any of them. There are 26 branches across the entire system. I'm gonna skip all this annual circulation programming, these numbers, stop by the library, I'm happy to give them to you. The 4 branches that were impacted, substantial damage and closed them down. Of course, Kingwood there at the bottom, you'll see is the one that affects you all the most. But we also lost Bulbin-Betcher, which was mentioned in Mercer Arboretum, the Barber Bush at Cypress Creek, and the Catherine Tire at Bear Creek. If you want to look at these are estimated, but the cumulative totals of technology, collection materials, furniture, and supplies, you're looking at almost $4.5 million that has been lost with those libraries. These are pictures inside the Kingwood Branch Library. Once we were able to get in there, they had anywhere from 3 to 4 feet of water, so they lost the entire first floor. That was the same with the Barber Bush. They lost the first floor. As I said, Bulbin-Betcher, they lost it all. And then Catherine Tire, we were able to save about 2/3 of the collection there. After Harvey, the library and the library staff, it did seem we were nowhere to be found, but we weren't. We were out at NRG Stadium Shelter. We had a pop-up library, and we didn't do any check-in or check-out, but donated books from our friends group did make their way down there. So we gave away over 5,000 donated books to the displaced persons there. We provided free printing. You had to print out those FEMA forms, those insurance forms, and that was there. Laptops, internet access for people who need to get in touch with their families. We also had a STEAM lab, and we had programs for the families there. So the library was active immediately as soon as we could get in there. Also, the staff was active saving those collections, and nothing was working in those libraries. It was humid, but we need to move fast. So as soon as we got the ability to get into those libraries, staff was there moving materials out. I wish I could give you a post-Harvey timeline. We don't really have one. Remediation has been done for Kingwood, and they are in talks with the architects and the construction. So their best estimate right now is late spring to early summer for Kingwood. So we're hoping before the big summer reading that we always do that Kingwood will be up and running. And I will be here as well if you have any other questions. I'd like to take this through for you.
It's amazing to see how every different entity and organization figured out what their part was in helping for recovery. So thank you for sharing that information. Just one last thing, we do have a few community announcements. I'm going to ask Bodie Wagner to come up, and also for Casey, Kristen, and John Guy to be on deck for your announcements.
I wanted to talk a little bit about, there is hope after Harvey, and there's going to be something to continue on, and certainly applaud the efforts of the community pulling together. I'm here to talk a little bit about the Humble ISD Foundation Rodeo and Cook-Off coming up in February. We have a tremendous amount of help putting this together. And when I look across the group out here, we have several of our sponsors out here. Our large sponsors are Planet Ford, Texan, Robbins, Waste Management is in there with us also as some of our major sponsors. But not only to look at there, we see Community Resource, the hospital, and there's many things going on. But, I brought some of the flyers out that we just started. Some of the entertainment that we're having out there is going to be Sundance Head and Tracy Bird coming to the rodeo. We got Jason Cassidy that's going to be at the cook-off. And so when you kind of hear that, you can kind of earmark that. That's going to be February 2018. And you might think that that's just right around the corner, but we're starting our planning period and looking at sponsors and different things. And you're going to see this flyer out. Diane Hendricks and Kelly Paul is helping us with some of the promotion. And you're going to see some of these flyers coming out. And if you look on the back, you'll see I have my email address out there. One of the things that I would like to extend to the chamber that's here today is if your company needs tickets to this sometime in November or December, then email me, and if your company will buy a minimum of $100, then I'll deliver them to you myself. So here again, mark that on your calendar, and we'll come back with some more information. So thanks again for all the contributors, and hope to see you out here at the rodeo. This is our $1 million year. You might say, well, what does that mean? All the proceeds go to Humble ISD Foundation, and they sponsor our grants for the school district. So this year we'll clear over $1 million that we have contributed to Humble ISD through that rodeo.
Thank you very much. It's good to see everybody. I'm Don Gaddy. I'm the chairman with Summer Creek Bizcom. As a lot of you know, Summer Creek High School is sharing their facilities with Kingwood High School, so we normally have our Bizcoms there at the high school, but this time we're not. The one in December 14th, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, is going to be at White Lightning in their restaurant site. So just wanted you to be aware of that. You'll get more information about that. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Casey,
Yes, I will. So few briefs. Real quick, I know that Mr. Daniels mentioned it, but Harris County and Representative Huberty will be hosting a Harvey Recovery Fair this Saturday here at Atascocita High School from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know a lot of people are probably thinking it's a little late for a recovery fair. We work tirelessly along with the individuals from Harris County Precinct 4, Precinct 2, Precinct 1 in order to get one of these fairs brought to the Humboldt and or Atascocita area. We do have a disaster recovery center where FEMA and SBA can help you in Humboldt, and there had been a fair previously in Kingwood hosted by the city of Houston, so we wanted to make sure and get the county folks out here to help our unincorporated county residents. As a small note, there's going to be water and dry food available, as well as tetanus shots and flu shots. So Mr. Daniels mentioned wanting to have a flu shot before coming in, or all your shots before coming in. So we'll have those available for you. Just a few of the organizations. There will be FEMA, SBA, U.S. Administration of Children and Families, United Way of Greater Houston, Lone Star Legal Aid, Workforce Solutions, Catholic Charities, Houston Food Bank, Salvation Army, Occupational Safety, OSHA, and Heart to Heart International, UT Health School, Public Health, and then of course each of the commissioner's offices, our office, and Judge Emmett's office. And we anticipate Councilman Martin from District E also stopping by. So hope to see all of you. If you have any questions that can be answered, that's going to be the spot to get them all done here on Saturday. Next up, I wanted to remind everyone that we have our YEP Professional Development Luncheon on Thursday, November 9th at 11 a.m. at Amadeo's. Lunch is included. This event is free for YEP members. It's $15 for people who have not yet joined, and we'll welcome you. Or you can go ahead and pay your dues. $50 will get you into this event, plus the 9 events for 2018. Pretty good deal. But there's a panel including Sam Trey, Deborah Rose Miller, and Randall Chestnut. The title is How to Market Yourself. So love to see all of you there. And then my last pitch, it is currently an election. Early voting is still going on, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today, tomorrow. At Rosewood Funeral Home, actually, here at the Atascocita location. I encourage all of you to vote early because on Tuesday, on actual general election day, you will be required to vote at your personal precinct. And a lot of those buildings are still in recovery. So to prevent you from having to go to multiple places on Tuesday, go ahead and early vote today or tomorrow. And that's anywhere in Harris County. We'll just call on our Rosewood. And that's all I have.
Well, I just want to thank all of our speakers today. I want to call your attention to the bottom of your agenda to, Casey already mentioned one upcoming event, there's another, and then also the dates for our upcoming Atascocita Bizcom meetings. And also, just one last thank you again to our presenting sponsors, Memorial Hermann Northeast and Rosewood Funeral Home Atascocita. And so at this point, unless Johnston shakes his head this way, we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.